What's up, everybody? I'm back after a long hiatus to share new tech with you that I have discovered. No one told me about it, and it works. It works really well. I had kind of a slow start as I figured out how to use it, but we went 3-10 today, getting cooked on defense, which sucks. But I'm excited to show this to you guys. So here's the army that I've been using. It's way different than before. We've got the Hydra. It's very similar to Star's army that he's been using. Inferno Dragons help with the funneling. Rocket Loons help for the funneling as well. We're using the jetpack equipment. Giant Arrow is crucial here. The idea of the army is Giant Arrow, jetpack, line them up, and then the Earthquake can take out any defense in the whole game. It takes one Earthquake to take out Infernos and Fire Spitters and multi-archer towers. It takes 2 Earthquakes to get the Monolith, Revenge Tower, Clan Castle. And then we've got some cleanup troops just for funneling, setting up a Flame Flinger, anything like that. But we're going to jump right into the replays and see how it goes. So as I mentioned before, I kind of figured out how to use this this new technique with the jetpack as I was going throughout the day today using my hits. I definitely would have hit this way differently after my other Legends hits, after I kind of figured it out. This tech is so good for taking out spell towers, especially. If you use the Giant Arrow and the jetpack ability, it'll fully destroy the spell towers. You don't have to worry about them ever again. And then obviously you can use the Earthquakes to snag even more defenses. In this case, I was having a hard time figuring out where I wanted to snipe it, and so I decided I was just going to drop the Duke in and see what happens, see where he goes, attack it like I would, before. And it didn't really work. I mean, my Duke didn't get that great of value. He took out some air defenses and stuff, but he doesn't set up a good funnel, doesn't go too well. I'm not able to take out the Monolith. I do use some Rocket Loons to get the Revenge Tower, but one thing I've kind of discovered is that when you Giant Arrow the base on one side and then hit the same angle with your Dragon Duke jetpack on the other side, then you have the Dragon Duke just simply supporting your queen. And when you keep your queen alive, since they both have self-healing on themselves, they're working together, it's hard for them to die. They just get so much value in the base. And a lot of times they can even set up great funnels for the Dragon Riders, which is probably the most important thing for this attack. So I set up as best a funnel as I could, charged into the bottom side. We almost still triple this base, but it just peters out. I definitely made some mistakes, placed totems poorly. The Revenge Tower eats through a bunch of my totems here. I used 2 totems for the Revenge. And then my funnel. You can see that Expo there on the other side. It splits the army, which is an issue. I do like to use the Overgrowth spell just to cover rage compartments. You can see once the rage triggers, I Overgrowth. You always want to wait until the rage triggers before you Overgrowth. That way the rage wears off with the Overgrowth. That's one of the great things. I started using Overgrowth because I was seeing a lot of those compact bases in the meta, where it's double rage and just all of the defenses around it. And it's just so hard to push through those bases without an Overgrowth. So Overgrowth really helps. As you guys may notice from the previous videos, I'm running the freeze spells now as well. Freeze spells are just really great for stopping all of the damage on Infernos and like Revenge Towers, things like that. What else have we got that's new? We obviously still have the Poison. We've got the Revive spell specifically for the Duke. On occasions, I'll use the Revive to revive other heroes, but reviving the Duke is super crucial. You can see reviving the Duke on this attack was what saved me from the 1-star here, which would have been just tragic, but luckily we're able to get just a 94% 2-star. Not too bad. We get that 310 because we triple out all the rest. We start using the tech. Okay. So you guys are watching my trial and error right now. As I mentioned in previous videos, I'm trying to step away from YouTube, and for that reason, I haven't watched any YouTube videos for months at all. I have limited Clash of Clans news. I'm just not as good as I used to be. I have no idea how the jetpack equipment works. My idea with this was I'm going to Giant Arrow straight through this rage compartment, hopefully hit the spell tower and Infernos and multi-archers, and then I put my Dragon Duke on the opposite side to use his ability. I thought it was just going to go right back the same way that the Giant Arrow came, but it doesn't. Dragon Duke goes through the center of the base, so I completely miss. I don't hit any of the things I thought I was going to hit. Now my Duke is next to the Monolith, which is a big no-no, so I have to use totems over there. And I also, like, I bring the Earthquakes to use in tandem with this technique, right? But I messed up, so I don't even have anything to use the Earthquakes on, so I'm kind of cooked here. We still clutch the attack, because we have, you know, the Duke gets, like, decent value here. He sets up a good funnel, and the funnel is what will clutch the attacks most of the time. My queen goes down. There's just, well, no, I thought she would go down, but looks like she's still alive. We'll use the Warden ability through the Rage just to save the damage. Yeah, okay, there goes the queen. But yeah, so the funnel is what's going to save us here. All we have to deal with is the backside Rage compartment, and we do have the Revive. So I'm going to Overgrowth the Fire Spitter and Long Shot just to help with the funnel. I wanted to hit the Air Defense with the Overgrowth as well, but I miss. And then the big savior of this attack is going to be the Minion Prince ability hitting the backside Rage. That just helps us get through those important defenses there. I actually use the 2 Earthquakes as well. You know, might as well just weaken those buildings as much as we can. We'll snipe out the air defense with rocket loons because of the Overgrowth. That does some good work. And at this point, we've managed to clutch the attack. Once the last wizard tower goes down, there's nothing left that's strong enough to beat the Dragon Duke. So we'll revive him in a second. Duke's not going to get his rage because there's just too many air, things that are left up, but it's enough to beat it. See, watch the Duke clean up just a little bit of things. Last thing is that long shot. We've still got the super minions. They survived the whole attack, and we'll just 2x through the rest of this. I don't want to bore you guys. Okay, we'll make it work in the next replays. Alrighty. So my ideal with this base, I wanted my Duke to end up in the rage compartment. I decided to do the left side rage compartment because I just didn't want my queen. I'm obviously not putting my queen in the rage compartment, but I don't want my queen near the monolith, so I put it on the multi-gear side. And the hope is to just take out as much of that rage compartment as we can. I dropped the Duke in first because I need the trash buildings to line up my giant arrow. The Duke has the angry jelly, so he's going to target the defenses. So we let him go in first, use his ability, then we shoot the giant arrow. And we miss most of the things that we want to hit. I mean, we don't destroy any buildings in that rage compartment, but everything is super weak. And so the Duke is going to one-shot like almost all of these defenses. We drop the army in really quickly because I don't want my queen to die. The queen is approaching scary stuff, so we're trying to keep the queen alive, and we're just going to push through. The funnel isn't too great. We'll use rocket loons on the backside, maybe a totem to take out the defending fire spitter there. But the Duke is alive, nothing's attacking him, so he's just going to heal up, and at this point, this base is pretty crushed. We'll get the queen actually to walk around the outside and trigger the backside rage. And then once that rage triggers, we'll overgrowth it just to keep the queen up. And at this point, there's just nothing left that's going to be an issue. As I mentioned, we got the queen's going to trigger the rage. We'll get the overgrowth down, beat out that rage. And this base is crushed. We've still got 3 freeze. We've got our revive. We have a totem still. It's crazy how strong this army is. Even when you miss the giant arrow jetpack combo, you just get so much value because it does so much damage to all of the defenses that as you guys saw, the Duke can clean up an entire rage compartment, the whole thing, because the buildings are weakened, Plus, we had the multi-gear and mono in that one compartment at the front, so I don't have to worry about that for the Duke. Alrighty, let's jump into the next hit. We got to make this work. Alrighty. This base is going to be just super easy. As you guys can see, we've got Infernos, the Clan Castle, Spell Towers all lined up in the center. We can do a number on all of them. My hope was to Giant Arrow and Duke ability through the air defenses, the Infernos and the Clan Castle. but I actually miss all of them, and instead we only get the sweepers and the air defenses and the rage towers. But it's just really hard for a base to recover with no rage towers, no spell towers at all. I mean, the Duke is heading down to this bottom side. There's not too much down there that's going to be able to kill him, so he'll get some good value. I guess here with the defending one and the clan castle troops, he will go down, but you know, he does good work. We're going to charge right into the town hall compartment because it has all of those heroes. I would advise pushing into the town hall compartment if it has lots of heroes. It's just really hard to deal with the heroes on the back end, I've found. I put my clan castle down. It doesn't really get any value, so that was kind of a waste. But queen is still up. Going to get that. Oh, never mind. Queen goes down. In any case, the scary parts of the base are taken care of. We still have the warden ability. We'll use it there. Hopefully we can get the warden ability to go through the revenge, but I think we might just overgrowth the revenge tower. And then rocket loons just to do some extra work. Now things are kind of petering out, but we still have the revive. So as long as we take out some crucial defenses like that air defense, I mean, honestly, at this point, we might not even need to get the air defense. I think the Duke could, on his own, clean up the rest of the base. But we'll wait for most of the air troops to go down. That way, when we revive Duke, he doesn't... he gets his rage ability. We've got a freeze left still as well. Okay, Duke loses his rage to the Sneezy, but it's not a big deal. Luckily, they path a different direction. If the Duke had gone to the Revenge Tower, we would have just used the freeze spell, taken care of that, and then still tripled. So this base is pretty crushed. Not as crushed as some of the others, but the base just can't recover once it loses those spell towers. And you can always take out the spell towers with this combo. It's pretty awesome. The other thing that I want to talk about with this tech, it kind of changes the shape of the funnel that you get. It almost always, I'm finding with these attacks that we're going to review, it creates a U-shaped funnel, which is very friendly for dragons. Now, this is a pretty common base in Legends League, and with this new tech, it's actually so easy. This tech genuinely is going to change the base meta for sure, because I mean, look at that. Like, we took out the sweepers, the clan castle. I don't even remember what all was in there, but the core is just separated. The Duke is now here to kind of back up the queen. Unfortunately, with this base, it is really hard to keep the queen alive. So, I mean, you kind of just have to cut your losses with the queen. With this attack, the Duke goes a little bit lower, but you can see that U-shaped funnel that we've gotten. So we're going to drop the army probably top left around like 11, 12 o'clock and just charge right into the core, deal with all the heroes, use the warden ability, and then we're set. There's not really any hard-hitting air defenses left in the rage compartments. Like, the rage is only going to rage up like a multi-archer tower. That's not really a big deal, so I don't need to use my overgrowth for the rage compartment. I'll just save my overgrowth probably for the back end on the monolith and maybe that backside fire spitter, just so that we can move through it. We don't have anything really, any reason to save. Oh shoot, okay, I did the opposite of what I was thinking. I guess I did overgrowth the rage here. I mean, either way, it doesn't really matter. Freeze spells you use on things like fire spitters and infernos. I use a lot of my totems early just to help with the hero walks for setting up the funnels. Yeah, a lot of times I don't have totems left at the end of the attack. I'm also finding with this new technique, if you do take out the clan castle with the giant arrow jetpack 2 earthquakes, you're kind of just left with a wasted poison. You could use that just on the heroes earlier. I'm still getting used to this technique, so I just forget to use it, but super dynamic. It just really crushes these bases, and these bases are hard for Dragon Riders. Alrighty, next base. With this one, I really wanted to deal with that super compact rage compartment. It has the clan castle, multiple multi-infernos, the poison, just everything, lots of stuff. So my hope was that I could take out maybe 2 infernos, the spell towers, and the clan castle. With this one, I totally whiffed it and just missed everything. But the Dragon Duke is still able to get some good value. I missed the Giant Arrow. That was the big issue. Otherwise, I could have gotten 2 of the Infernos, which would have been nice. I do use some totems to keep my Duke alive on the backside, just so that he gets some value. He is going to die pretty quickly. I didn't want my Queen to drop super quickly, so I actually dive in with my army really quickly to hopefully keep those alive. And I funnel that top side corner at 12 o'clock with the Siege Barracks. It's kind of just all I had to create a funnel. So I was pretty nervous about this attack. I honestly didn't think I would triple. But we were able to clutch it. So the thing that I am liking too about the jetpack is that as the Duke charges through the base, a lot of times he will die in a place that is very convenient for your army when you revive him later on in the attack. So we'll use a couple totems just to get through the Revenge Tower here. The army is kind of petering out, but we do still have the Phoenix on the Minion Prince, which will help. I used a freeze on the Fire Spitter, and then I remembered that I had an Overgrowth, so I just went with the Overgrowth. It was way better. And we still have the Queen up. The thing that was nice about the Overgrowth as well is that it just is saving the Queen from some damage, so she gets to self-heal from the giant equipment. And as you can see, like, surprisingly, there's so many things up. This base is still crushed, and we swag the revive spell yet again. We have it, but I mean, revive spell I guess really just saves you from like those dicey attacks that peter out too early. Then, you know, maybe sometimes the Duke can clean up whatever's left. But pretty crushed. Let's jump into the next. Okay, so this one is probably one of my favorite replays. I just created this army. I had the idea. I did the math. I used a calculator to calculate if the earthquakes were going to work to destroy these buildings. I'm not on YouTube, so I'm not hearing from anybody about, you know, ideas of anything like this. So nobody told me that this works. But my idea here was to drop the Duke right on the clan castle, trigger his ability. He'll go all the way through, and then Giant Arrow from the opposite side, use the earthquakes to clear the clan castle, and then this takes out all of the spell towers. Because remember, all it takes to destroy the spell towers is the Giant Arrow and the Duke ability. You don't need any earthquakes. Giant Arrow Duke ability takes out the spell towers. Now this is the first time I've ever dropped heroes straight into a rage compartment. I low-key was not expecting it to destroy my heroes this much, so I used a ton of totems, like almost all of my totems, right at the start of the attack to take this out. And I was sweating it. I was honestly so worried that I was going to fail this attack just because I'm already out of totems. But here we go. There's the U-shaped funnel. I dropped my army in quick because I don't want my Queen to get too close to that air defense and possibly killed by the monolith. That would just suck. If we can keep the Queen alive, she's going to self-heal because of the giant puppet and hopefully take out stuff on the back end. For that same reason, I use my Overgrowth early, specifically to reduce the damage on my Queen, so that she gets that self-heal and stays alive, because she can clean up a lot of that back end. Now, my Dragon Riders charged way ahead of where my Warden went, and for that reason, a lot of them died. I was kind of sweating the Revenge Tower here, so I invested my last 2 freezes and then dropped those Rocket Loons in for them to path to the raid, or to the Revenge, and it totally worked. I used my Warden too late, so we didn't really get to save anything, but just reducing damage here, looking for a good Minion Prince ability. We use a freeze on the Rico Cannon, because once we get the Rico Cannon down, Queen's going to survive for a little while. And at this point, we could probably swag the Revive spell again on the Minion Prince. I am just going to use it to kind of like clean things up. You know, the Duke will take out that Inferno on the backside. Once the Wizard Tower targets my heroes, we take it out with a Baby Dragon. A lot of times I like to use the Baby Dragon to clean up behind the Duke. He'll leave just some little trash buildings. But with the new tech on the jetpack, I'm finding it's just kind of nice to snipe out some buildings. Okay, let's go next. Okay, we got this base again. Very popular in Legends League right now. We're going to hit it exactly the same. And remember, just like last time, we're going to get 2 air sweepers, the clan castle, 2 scatter shots, 2 infernos. Like the base just simply can't recover from this anymore. And I'm also finding a lot of bases, like you can't spread out the builder huts enough for any of the buildings to recover and heal from the damage done from the jetpack and giant arrow ability. So like the revenge tower is less than half health. It's just going to stay that way. Duke, we're going to let him die. I don't care about keeping him alive. He's just going to do his work. He's going to die. He triggers that rage. Doesn't really matter because there's nothing left in the rage. Same thing on the other side. On this one, I decided to let my queen die. Because my Duke went up instead of down like the last hit, I used rocket runes to take out the fire spitter. And we charge into this base exactly like last time. Use all of the totems just early in this first rush. Drop a totem behind the revenge, let it drop. We'll go with an early warden ability just because we can. And then I kind of mentioned last time, on this hit, I'm going to use my overgrowth for the monolith and the fire spitter. And then that just lets the super minions, which popped from the siege barracks, do a little bit more work. We've got some inferno dragons that'll clean up the town hall and guardian. And 3 freezes. I mean, we'll use the freezes probably on the inferno and the monolith. But we swag the revive again on this. I mean, it's just so crushed. Bases can't recover without the spell towers. And especially because, like, when you're you're using those earthquakes to take out, like, the monolith or the clan castle or infernos, you're not just getting those, you know? A lot of times, like, you've got the Duke to support the Queen, and the Queen already is going to cut out a big chunk of the base, but with the Duke, it's going to be so much more. Okay, let's jump into the next. Okay, this is the last one that we'll review. After doing my Legends hits, I just jumped into my CWL attack. I didn't spectate the base or anything, just jumped right in. On this one, it's very tempting to try to giant arrow the air defenses, but I wanted to hit the Dragon Duke ability across the Revenge Tower and the 2 Infernos right in the core, because like you eliminate the core and it's just going to help so much with the Dragon pathing. So I used the Rocket Loons to make sure that the Duke is going to stay perfectly in line with the Multi-Archer. I don't want him going up too high, otherwise we'll miss those things in the middle. We use those 2 Earthquakes, take out those 3 buildings, and then just like last time, we've got the Duke to support the Queen in that push, right? The core is missing on this base. Queen is going to cut out a piece, and then we're left with a U-shaped funnel. So super easy. And I mean, if you look at that bottom side, there's just almost nothing that can take out the Duke at all. Duke is just going to work forever. Nothing can kill him. I invest some totems like early for the Queen and for the Duke just to keep them alive, because if they survive a little bit, they're going to survive, for most of the rest of the attack, as long as they survive that early entry. Okay, we'll use the rest of the totems as we push the army right into the monolith, and we'll pop the Warden ability pretty early as well. If you watch the Duke, like, Duke is just going to walk through the rest of the core, finish the pathing, trigger the other poison tower. He just did so much. I don't even need anything else for the rest of this attack. We don't need to drop any more spells. We can just let it all do its stuff. We'll use the Minion Prince ability just to, like, slow things down, and then we'll 2x this. Minion Prince right there. So there you go. We swagged 8 spell space on this base. 8 spell space. That's insane. This army's it's great. I love it. It's so fun. It's so satisfying when you get that, the giant arrow, the jetpack, and the earthquakes. Like, man, it just feels so good. So try this out. I'll link the army in the description. Hope you guys enjoy this tech. Let me know how it goes.